Hello, everyone. Welcome to Family Credit Management's weekly show about money. Today is going to be one of our probably most special, probably most important shows that we have. And today's show is about money and kids, because why do so many of us have hard times with money and finance and credit and savings and understanding everything? It's because we didn't understand a lot of the basic rules as kids, and we learned some bad traits. And once you get those bad traits in your head, habits, they're really, really hard to break those habits. So we're going to talk about kids and money and everything else. I've been doing this for, I've spent the last 25 years working at banks, working in collections, working as underwriting where I approve loans, working in, I've taught for 4 years at Morton College where I teach classes on finance and business, and also 20 years in the debt management and credit counseling field. So I can tell you right now that a lot of kids out there, when I teach college classes, a lot of the basic fundamental things, they just didn't get, weren't told, didn't understand, and have a hard time with. So I'm going to be here kind of representing the adults, the ones who understand things. And as you can see, I've got a guest with me today. And why are you here?
I'm here to represent kids with money, so it will make it easier to see what a kid's point of view is when spending money.
Because a lot of kids have kind of misconceptions about money. They don't really understand where money came from, how do you get money, how do you buy things. And a lot of your friends or even you in the early time, when you got money, what did you want to do with it?
Spend it.
Spend it. Did you give thoughts to where you spent it?
No.
No. What kind of things did you use to spend it on?
Worthless things.
Worthless things. And how many adults do we know that do the same thing? For adults, what we call it is impulse spending. And so you go ahead and you get to the store and you see something. Stores have little tricks. Like they have end stands, they call it. How many people would buy a pack of gum or a pack of mints or a magazine if they didn't have it right at the cash register? Single bottles of soda, single bottles of water. And I've done it myself. But how many times are we spending $1.25 for a bottle of water when we're at the grocery store or at one of the big boxes, where if we just would have waited 10 minutes, we could have gone home and gotten one? And that's impulse spending. Kids do the same thing, don't they?
I would have to agree.
Yeah. And what should they do?
Kids should save money until they actually really need to spend it. They should not buy worthless junk almost. They should buy something that would really matter, like maybe saving up for college, maybe saving money to buy a house in the future. Money can add up.
A house, that's a big thing, but a lot of kids, really I think you're saying save for something you really want, and not just an impulse thing. Because how many kids buy something later on, they're like, they didn't really want it, did they?
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the things I always challenge adults to do, and I challenge any kids who are watching right now, think about all the things that you've bought or you've asked your parents to buy for you. You think about it, Katie. Think about your room at home, all the things that you have. It being stuffed animals, toys, games, clothes. You have any clothes that you never wear?
Many.
Yeah. So by the time you want them, you buy them. Maybe they're on sale, maybe they're discounted, and you go ahead and spend the money on them. But then you don't wear them. You don't like them, right?
Yeah, that could also be another example of impulse spending.
No, that's a perfect example of it. So challenge people. Think about your house right now. Whether or not you're an adult or a child, if you could look around your entire house, how many times would you be able to find something if I could put the money next to everything you bought? So if we could go to your room right now and take all of your games and toys and puzzles and clothes and stuffed animals and pillows and things hanging on the wall, whatever you had, we could put the money right next to it and you could have the money back. Think you'd be able to collect any money?
I think that I would be able to collect more money than you can imagine.
So you'd be able to collect a lot of money. And you know what? I think most adults are in the same situation. I think that adults do the same thing. But where do you think these habits start at?
When kids are my age, or maybe like my little brother's age.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. When we're young, so we as adults have a responsibility to help kids understand about spending and the value of money and going further, because this is a huge problem. Impulse spending is a real big problem. So this is something that we've talked about, at Family Credit Management for years. So what we did was we actually used Katie and her sister Elizabeth as examples, and we wrote a kids book. Katie and Elizabeth Go Shopping. What's this book about?
It's about how me and my sister, when I was little, I used to spend my money on not the most intelligent items, let's just say. And my sister, she would always want to save something. She would always want to save money until now she still has a lot of money in her little safe.
And you spent yours, and then what happened over time?
Over time, everything got boring, and it ended up not really being mine anymore because my brother would just walk into my room and take it all. I really did not care at that point.
So kids start to understand, hey, you know what? Maybe I should start giving some more thought to my purchases and taking some more time. So, as I said, this is the book, Kate and Elizabeth Go Shopping, that we've created, and we're actually just launching it right now. We just got them back from the printer. I think it's a great story for, really kids anywhere from, what would you say, 4 to 8?
Yes, I would have to agree.
Yeah, I think that'd be the right age group for this book. And we're actually we're going to start charging for these, but anyone who wants a copy of this book, during our launch, we'll mail you a copy of it for free. All you have to do is you can go to our website, familycredit.org, and you can do the contact us and request your free copy with the address, or you can call and speak to one of our credit counselors, and you just call that number and tell them that you just watched the show and you're interested in this book and helping some kids that need some help learning about money management, and we will get a copy of it off to you for free. And it's actually really a great book that's entertaining, and more and more we need to really spend time with kids on educational questions. So we're going to be here for another 20 minutes or so, and we'll take any questions that you have, and as always we'll take all questions about anything money management and credit related, especially now that I have a second expert with me today. But we're also going to try to focus on things with kids. I know one of the things that I've noticed, kids, when they go off to the store, they want to buy things. And we as parents have to make sure that we explain to them that how finances work. And too many times, we as parents don't want to talk to our children about money. We'd much rather just kind of avoid it or bury it. But do kids really understand?
Not really, until their parents tell them. And as you say, parents want to bury it. Eventually, the kids will want to know. It's just something that you'll ask about just because you want to know.
And I think there's financial problems in a household. The kids kind of have an idea what's going on too.
And when you just don't tell them, they might get sad or maybe a little angry at you. So it's just best to tell them.
Scared, think the worst, or wondering why. Because parents, pretty much all parents, they want their kids to have everything. They want their kids to have more. But the reality is that almost none of us can give our kids everything, and they have to understand what we call economics is opportunity cost. One of the things we cover here in the book is that theory in a very basic, understandable way. And opportunity cost means once you spend $1, it's a lost opportunity. It can't go towards anything else. So if Katie gets her allowance and she spends her $10, that $10 can't be put anywhere else, can it? Because it's gone. Where your sister, if she keeps her $10, what can she do with it?
She can save it for later and maybe buy something for $100.
Yeah, and maybe something that she really wants or puts a lot of thought into. But we have to let kids know that everything costs money. And we're going to talk about your housing costs. And I'm not recommending that we tell our personal business, how much money we make, or certain things like that to our kids, because obviously you don't want it to be, broadcast around the neighborhood. But depending on your kids, their level of maturity, their age, you should start sharing some personal information with them, because it costs a lot to run a house, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Do you think your friends understand how much it costs?
I don't think so. I mean, I have some friends where their parents will tell them, but they won't tell them a lot. They'll just say, well, yeah, we're not running out of money, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's not that descriptive.
Yeah. And then they want to have something. They want to have their kids buy them something, or have their kids get them something, and they can't, and they don't want to explain to them why. It's, households have a lot of money. I mean, you spend money on groceries, gasoline for your car, utilities, cable TV, and some decisions, letting the kids be part of the decision. So they want something, and let them know, we're spending this much money on cable TV. Would you rather us cut cable down to a smaller package? Would you rather us do this? And bring them into some financial decisions that are appropriate for them, because the time's going to come, they're going to have to make those decisions themselves.